I've only really had like freaking 2.5 boyfriends in my life, including you.
2.5?
2.5. And
what does that mean?
It means I've had 2.5 boyfriends.
What does half mean?
Well, half of a boyfriend.
Was one a boy? Like a child?
One was a boy, but he wasn't like my full...
But you were also a girl.
I was a girl too.
Then.
What the hell?
Well, I'm just clarifying.
You've been dating me since I was like 19.
I'm just clarifying for the audience who might not know this information.
What it means is that I had a boyfriend my sophomore year of high school, and we didn't have sex. And
sophomore year boyfriend, okay.
I don't know if that counts as a boyfriend.
Yeah, that counts. You're in high school.
Yeah, but you didn't have sex.
What marker is that? You need to have sex.
I remember
that
my
is
mom
so
would
your
say
mother.
That. She'd
that is
be
also.
Like, he didn't really count.
That is also a crazy thing to say to your child.
She said it to me later in life. She did not say it to me then. But I could just tell, like
he's not real.
She also knew, like, it is. Okay, my mom does not. We don't talk about sex. We don't talk about sex at all in my family. But
implied that you didn't have a real boyfriend.
But it was just implied. Like,
he's not real because
also,
he didn't.
Stop.
Okay. That's too far now? You said I wasn't going far enough. Sophia, we had a conflict where we were like, should we stop podcasting altogether? Because Aaron doesn't bring enough spice. Aaron's been lagging. Aaron's been slugging behind.
Not just you, me too.
I say one thing.
Aaron, I've been lagging too. Like, people ask me often, like, oh, do you go out? Like, what's the scene like in LA? And like, I don't know what to tell them because I'm a homebody and my life is kind of just with you and our cat. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, I'm going to be honest, I feel insecure about that.
About not going out
and
as much?
It's not that I don't love you, but like, as we were talking about earlier, I think like something that comes up for me a lot, and people ask me this a lot, but it's not that I feel like I want to date, and it's not that I feel like I'm missing out in any way, because I don't. Like, if I did want to, I would.
Yeah.
And I don't even feel like when I was like young before we started dating, like I just was super flirty and like I wanted to date and like I had those like urges, but I don't have that anymore. Mm-hmm. And I do feel like more of an urge to settle down. Yeah. But I feel really like embarrassed by that and kind of like ashamed by that. And I don't know. Like,
I get that.
Also
especially
because I think that we are like friends with like really artistic people.
Yeah.
And I was talking to this one girl on the set the other day, and she's like 26, but she graduated late. So she just graduated from college and she's been dating her boyfriend for 5 years. And she's been working in, and she's been working in fashion, but she wants to do film eventually. And she was saying, like, I was asking her, because obviously the question comes up when you've been dating your boyfriend for 5 years or 4 years. We've almost been dating for 5 years, which is crazy. Like, oh, are you like thinking about the next steps? Which the next steps usually apply like marriage, right? Or something to that equivalent.
Littler guy.
And baby guy. That's so cute. But anyway,
he'd be so cute in the graphic. Tinier than me.
I'm not crying. This eye is like actually just severely watery.
She's had an eye twitch all day.
I've had like in both eyes. It's transferred to the left one now.
What are you gonna do? It's life.
But anyway, she was saying that she told her boyfriend, like, I'm not ready to get married. But it sort of feels like we're moving in that direction. Right. But I don't know when I'll be ready. And then she was also like to me, but even though I'm 26 and like we're getting to be 30, though, that feels very far from 30 now that I think about it.
And I'm getting to be 30?
I'm getting to be 30.
I'm 15 and I'm almost 20.
When you put it that way,
it's a big difference.
But anyway, she was just saying that there's also like age is different in LA, and I do agree with that.
Yeah.
And I also think like,
I think it's also a city thing.
I think it's a city thing. I think it's an artistic thing, and I think it's specifically an LA thing because I think people here have Peter Pan syndrome. Yeah, and it could either be really great for them or really fucking creepy. Yeah, like the 40-year-olds who think that they can date 19-year-olds, it's completely inappropriate, and you need to go home and stop and take a look in the mirror and realize that you're 40 fucking years old.
Yeah. Yes.
because there is so much of that in LA.
So much.
And honestly, with all the Botox, like I cannot tell anyone's age.
Age is becoming like amorphous, where it feels like everyone goes to the same plastic surgeon too. Like there's
I need to get that plastic surgeon.
Do you though?
I don't know. Like, do I look old to you? People think I look young now. People actually think that I look younger than Leela, which is really weird for me. But I also think it's because my personality is really shy.
You're more reserved, I think, compared to your siblings.
Like when I meet a lot of adult siblings, usually, unless you know like older younger dynamic, you'd think that the younger sibling is older. Yeah. Like you and Mark. I would think immediately you're older.
That I'm older than... Well, yeah, he is like a
He's
mouse.
really quiet. He's really reserved. He's, he looks younger to me.
He looks younger.
Yeah. But like, like Leela is like out there. She's like really extroverted, really fun. Like I'm pretty introverted and quiet. Yeah. And so when you meet us side by side, like you would think that she's older presenting, even though obviously to us she's baby, but...
Yeah, she is baby. But yeah, off the cuff, for sure. I think it's like your energy has a lot to do with how your age is perceived. But in LA, it's like, I have no idea. Someone could be 50, but they could actually be 16. Someone could look like they're 16 and be 75 years old. Scary. I have no idea. I'll be in line for coffee. I'll look behind me. It's like a man with sunglasses. I'm like, is this a 12-year-old or is he just have botched surgery? Like, I don't know what the deal is. Take off your sunglasses, sir.
Look like he's 12.
Take off your sunglasses, mister, with your denim jacket and your mustache.
Oh, God.
Specific person in my mind. Although, probably wouldn't be 12 with a mustache.
No.
But you never know these days. I'll just say, yeah, I don't know. Especially like I mean, do what you want to do. If you want to get that Botox, if you want to get that whatever it is, I don't know the technical terms. I mean, do it. Live your life. But I'm just I just get confused.
I think that's the point, though. Like, honestly, when I'm 50, I want people to look at me and be confused.
You want them to be confused, but...
I don't want them to look at me and be like, she's older. She's middle-aged. Though 50 doesn't feel middle-aged anymore.
No, it doesn't.
I want them to think that I'm 30.
That you're 30.
Yeah. But honestly, I look at my mom. She hasn't gotten any work done. And... to me, she looks 10 years younger than she is.
The thing is...
But maybe it's because she's my mother.
I feel like, though, the PS route is a retroactive thing that people feel because it's like, I'm scared of what I will look like when I am 50, right? So you start getting work done. And then it's also that thing where it's like, you start on one thing, and then you go... Maybe it doesn't fix the problem.
I think it's so natural now. It looks so natural now.
For some people, bro. Some people
not. I mean,
though.
Everyone in LA has it.
Yeah, true. They
get people who look natural, like they have it.
They get this one, though. This one is such a tell.
Oh, I think it's buccal fat removal.
Yeah. That's it.
Sometimes, you guys, like when I'm feeling really insecure about myself, I look in the mirror and I bite down on my cheeks and I go like this.
Do you bite down? You just need to suck a little.
I suck a little.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, like I would look so snatched if I had no cheek there.
You didn't have one.
But then I'm like...
skeleton style.
LA's getting to my head. Mm-hmm. That looks terrible.
Yeah.
I should never do that.
It never looks particularly good? Question mark?
I don't know. It just... I was...
Again, I'm not judging anyone who has done this.
Well, here's the thing. I think that there's like different... There's different standards of if you're attractive or not based on what city you're in.
That's true.
And I cannot fucking compete with the LA standards.
LA is like
I just can't.
Yeah,
I think LA,
offensive.
you are like, you look like a model. You're like rail thin. And you do have lip injections.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And you look like your skin is a glazed baby. Mm-hmm. Like a glazed baby's butt.
Like a little Krispy Kreme.
Like a Krispy Kreme baby butt. And...
I didn't know you were gonna bring babies into this. I thought you were gonna keep this donut affiliated.
Anyway, the point is like everyone looks fake. If you look real in LA, like you're just not attractive. And I feel that way. If you
look real?
Yeah. If you look like a real person. Like when I am working at the Pilates studio and I have those natural bags under my eyes and I have no makeup on because I didn't have time at 5 a.m. to apply. I do feel And I don't think I'm an ugly person, but I do feel ugly. Like ugly with a capital U.
Yeah.
Capital G, honestly. Ugly. And I think it's because I look real. But like, for example, in San Francisco, if I'm like wearing heels in San Francisco, I'm like, fuck, like I'm way too dressed up. People are staring at me like I look way too...
Yeah, you're not in a Patagonia.
I'm not fitting the vibe. So I do think like a little bit of uggo kind of hits in San Francisco. Like if you look like you chug beer on the weekends, like you're kind of sexy.
It's not uggo. I think it's just like an inflated beauty standard that exists here because it's like where people move to, you know? So it's like...
But it also depends. Like I've never been to Miami, though I want to go. And I hear in Miami, like unless you look like you have an inflated chest and booty, you're not attractive there.
Interesting.
Like that's the beauty standard there.
Sign me up. I think that exists. I think it's like a city standard, and here it's like we're in like I feel like you had like the whole extreme like body positivity in like the mid 2010s, you know, where it's like it's okay to, you know, be curvy, it's okay to be like that was
it's okay
I feel
to
like
eat
a
food.
sought after, like to have a healthy mindset towards our bodies.
It's okay to be a normal person in a normal body.
And then fucking Ozempic came in and then
I
all
honestly
bets
think
were
like
off.
we are fully back, and this actually makes me really sad and makes me struggle with my own body image.
It's totally
in my own career.
regressed.
It's totally like 90s like cocaine thin.
Yeah, where the fuck did Lizzo go? Oh wait, never mind.
Aaron.
No, actually I forgot. Fuck, sorry. Bad example.
Whatever.
Yeah, now it's cocaine thin.
Yeah.
Now it's like you know.
It also like just amazes me. It really does amaze me though, because I like watch celebrities over the years, and it shocks me how their bodies fluctuate to whatever quote unquote in.
Yeah.
That they can like change their bodies so much to be so hourglass curvy, to be so like real like I just it's just exhausting to look at, honestly.
Yeah.
It's exhausting, and like I think
if you think about it, they only need to present, like they can choose when to present themselves in the public eye, and they can present themselves however they want. You know what I'm saying? Like you can.
But it does.
It takes a couple months.
But it must take something out of you.
Yeah, and
to be heavily transforming your body in that way.
Yeah, to irrevocably
like it's obviously not
ruin
healthy.
something. No, definitely not. And they've done like there've never been long-term studies on like what Ozempic does to a person's body who doesn't need it. You only do like clinical medical trials of a medication if you need that medicine.
Yeah.
So like people who need Ozempic are studied for the effects of Ozempic, and their bodies turn out better because they have a problem.
But usually diabetes.
If you're a perfectly healthy individual who is not diabetic, who has a normal, you know, body type, no, they don't know what the long-term effects of that are going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can't be good to take a medication that you don't need to take, that was for something else that just happens to have this like weird effect that you are then dependent on for the rest of your life, you know?
I also heard that you lose muscle mass. That's why you're losing so much weight.
I don't know. Totally could be true. I've heard that as well.
Which is hard because that's usually what keeps you looking like toned, is your muscle mass.
Well, you can.
I don't know.
There is that weird look. It's like just this weird skinny that doesn't match. I don't know. It's really weird. But yeah, I feel like the reason why, I don't know. It's a little strange. Like freaking Keeping Up with the Kardashians, where their whole thing was coming in as like, Scott, you look so good.
That was a meme.
Was that a real meme? And
no, I think that they actually didn't mean to show the Ozempic. It was all over Daily Mail though.
Oh, it was?
That he had the Ozempic in his fridge.
Okay, I didn't know that people caught
I'm
up.
like, they must have known that the Ozempic was like glaringly in the shot, right?
Maybe not though. If they're just like filming shit and they're like, go to your fridge, it's just like there. Maybe they missed it. But yeah, it's like he walks in.
I did see clips from the few other episodes, and they talk about his weight a lot, about how he like lost all this weight, and then they
mention?
Well, he was like
fucking elefante in the room.
I don't know because I didn't see the episode, but he was like, yeah, I was just eating like a pack of Hawaiian rolls a night and drinking ginger ales, 20 ginger ales a day, and that's how I stopped all that and lost all that weight. Which I mean, like, yeah, I guess if you're eating a pack of Hawaiian rolls a night and you stop that actually sounds hella good right now. A Hawaiian roll. Fuck.
Some fucking king's bread right now.
Anyway.
All to say, yeah. But then it was just like in his fridge. It's like, okay, well, no one's pretending anymore. But like people, I feel like have stopped pretending on that for a while now. Like it's just out in the open.
I think people are open about it.
Yeah.
It is hard because here's the thing that I feel about like surgery and things like Ozempic and plastic surgery, because it's your body, you do you. If you're insecure about something and you want to change something or look younger or do anything that makes you comfortable, like no fucking judgment.
Oh my God, go for it.
And you shouldn't have to tell anyone about it.
And you shouldn't have to like rationalize.
You shouldn't have to explain it.
Yourself.
Like I do think that is
I'm freaking on some fucking hair pill shit. Like
yeah,
boys and girls, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do, and like do what you need to do to feel confident.
If we could get a Hims sponsorship, save me so much money. Actually, never mind, it's covered through my insurance. So, but anyway,
Hims is hair pills.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
I didn't
fucking
know that.
Some shit for
erectile dysfunction
for your ED.
I don't think you have any troubles with that.
Thanks.
Anyway, the point is that the thing that it's hard for me as like a consumer, and as someone, honestly, as someone who's living in LA, because I didn't used to like care about celebrity. I was always interested in celebrities. I always liked pop culture. But now that I'm like living in LA, it feels like these celebrities are real people. Obviously they are real people. But it feels like they're like the popular group in your high school.
Yeah.
And like you're trying to get to that level.
Yeah.
To attain that level of whatever they have, fame, power, wealth. I hate to admit that, but I'm going to be honest here, you guys. When you live next to them, like it's really hard not to compare yourself to the people that you're seeing in social media when they're also walking down your block.
Filming a fucking video.
It just makes you feel a certain kind of way. And I think like when I see all these beautiful, stunning people who I can't tell if they've gotten like Botox or Ozempic or something, or what, like, for example, my biggest insecurity is my skin. Like I always have skin breakouts. I'm on the pill right now to control my skin. I've been seeing a doctor to help balance out my hormones. Figured out that I have too low of estrogen, which who would have fucking thought, and progesterone. So my hormones are really out of whack, and I'm trying to figure that out. But it's not always just like eating healthy and exercising. Like there's a lot of other layers to it that can make you look a certain way. Like I eat healthy and I exercise regularly. And my skin without birth control is a fucking mess. And it makes me feel horrible and insecure. And I look at these celebrities with like flawless skin, like, even like photoshopped skin, you never know. And I am looking at these photos and I really take them at face value sometimes.
For sure.
And I think like you do you get plastic surgery, you get Botox, you do whatever you want. But also as a consumer, it's really hard to see that. And when people aren't transparent and you're comparing yourself to them, you're kind of like, do I need to be that beautiful to have a career in Hollywood?
Especially if you're pursuing that.
Yes.
Right.
And I also think it's just harder, especially for young women and young men.
No, younger women.
But I think young women, like comparing themselves
without a doubt,
to other people on social media, like
it's not a question.
I even noticed it about myself. Like the things that I will look at photos of myself, like guys, I'm crazy. Like I will look at photos of myself from a week ago and be like, fuck, I really like look way better in that photo. And I'm so ugly now. And then I realized like, no, Sophia, you were just posing a certain way. Like that was the lighting, like to my own self.
Right.
So if I can do that to my own self, like judge myself based on a week ago, Sophia, Imagine what I can do to a Kardashian on TV.
Right.
And be like, oh my God, like, I wish I had skin that was as flawless as Kim.
And these people who are presenting themselves, like, they have a team of people who are just and they have like camera people, lighting, like a team of people who their entire job is to make them look good and attractive. And, you know, you see people on the red carpet. It's like they have tons of people who are there to make them look
for sure
as good as possible.
And honestly, like, I don't think that I really had issues with my looks until like end of junior year, senior year of college, when I was really thinking about trying to pursue this industry.
For sure.
Because then, like, there is a certain thought process that you have about, like, if I don't look a certain way, if I don't, like, present a certain way, is that because I don't know. You just question if it's like your looks or your talent or both. And when you're getting so much rejection, I think that you're constantly wondering if it's because of your face.
And it's not.
Maybe.
It's not. You have a great face.
I don't know, guys. I'm not trying to be down in the dumps here. Like, I'm just being real with you.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's impossible, especially when it's like the shit like we used to meme on, you know, like all of like the celebrity culture stuff. It feels a lot easier when you're not like seeing it every day, walking down the street. Like you're not like there's just like LA, you don't even have to look very hard to see through the surface level, you know? It's like you'll go from a walk between one neighborhood to the next. Like I'll walk to like Silver Lake or whatever, and I'm like, the fuck am I? Like it's literally the Erewhon district. That is what they call it now.
That's crazy.
Like I don't know. And then it's like that is a sought after commodity.
And that's also like, I want to say, not fully LA. Like I think that's the LA that we know because we're transplants.
Yeah,
and
for
we
sure.
moved to a very gentrified area in LA.
Sure.
But I also think that's you know, like I'm sure that when people talk about San Francisco, they're like, it's just like tech bros.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
It's so, you know, Patagonia. So, and it is. It totally is.
Mm-hmm. That's how I felt about Seattle.
But I don't think that like locals are like that.
Yeah, of course. You're always gonna have like, you know, people who have been there.
But I do think a lot of people are transplants in LA.
Yeah, for sure. Especially like, I don't know. Yeah. Especially a lot of people who are younger. Yeah. A lot of fucking transplants. Yeah. Including us.
We are.
But you gotta name it, you know? It's when people refuse to name it, I lose my goddamn mind.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna get on a plane.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna fly it.
Aaron.
What?
A 9/11 joke.
No, it had nothing to do with that. It was a plane failure. I didn't mean it. But what I mean by that is like you'll have a conversation with someone who's like excited by the prospect of, you know, I feel like the shit I objectively hate about LA, which is like the networky aspect, it's like all transactional, where it's like for like the circles that it doesn't even matter. You'll enter a random bar. Someone won't like, you can't just like meet people, you know? Mm-hmm. It feels transactional.
You know what's funny though?
Yeah.
My friend, obviously, you know, Ben, lives in DC.
Right.
And he'll go on dates in DC and cannot stand them because everything is so networky and transactional.
I mean, that makes sense.
Everyone wants to like get to the top politically.
Right.
And I think that that's so
I think when you
interesting, like coming from a different city, because I feel that way. Like, I don't think I could ever date in LA. I think it would be so overwhelming. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not going to, but I just don't think that I could do it. Like, it seems terrifying. Mm-hmm. And, you know, hearing his experience in DC, like, that's a different city. If you were working in tech in San Francisco, I don't know. Would you even be dating?
To be honest, would you even be outside? Morgan, we're talking about you, bad boy. No, he's running hella miles.
I know.
I see his Strava. He's popping off.
I simply cannot do Strava and never will.
That's like that's being consumed by the techies though. The tech bros. They're taking over Strava.
They are. Mm-hmm. Wow, they're so fit now.
That's like their whole. It's like the tech bros.
So the tech bros are becoming the finance bros.
The brogrammers.
Is that real? Are they becoming the finance bros of New York? Are finance bros as big of a thing now? I don't know.
In New York, for sure. Well, it's like there's like a pipeline to like the workers and like consultants. Mm-hmm. That's like a huge like fuckers who live in like Murray Hill or like.
But do you think that that's happening like in the Bay Area with tech? Like, do you think that they're becoming the bros, or do you think that they're just nerdy little programmers?
No. There's a branch of programmers, yeah, of the bros.
There's a branch of the bros who rock climb.
Who rock climb? Yeah, like me. Okay.
I went to the rock climbing gym. I don't fit in there. I don't belong.
Fair. I'm gonna say there's one person who is really nice to me there, who I really like. But that like
just one person.
Huh? No, it's true. It's true. The rest I feel like very, like.
It does kind of fit with your vibe though.
No, but like
it's like film bro granola.
So granola, but like okay,
like
I went to
Brooklyn Silver Lake.
I went to one in Seattle when I was there, and it felt super chill. Like people were nice, people were social. The guy who worked there, like
Seattle feels things. Like everyone would rock climb there.
That's fucking true though. But Seattle's like super tech as well. It just feels like the one in fucking Hollywood is so like I'm a fucking like musician. I'm a fucking I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Like I'm talking about my spec script that like I just wrote a fucking new script. Do you want to read my script? Do you want to read? I don't want to read your script. I'm just in the sauna.
Did someone ask you to read their script in the sauna?
No, someone was talking to the other boys though. There were some boys chatting.
This is what I realized about myself.
It sounded so bad.
And this is how I know that it's a me problem and not a them problem.
Yeah.
Is that I was in the shower at the sauna because I get too afraid to change in front of people still in the changing rooms. I know, it's a little weird. And there was this like really like tall, like tattooed, like granola-y girl with like short hair and like equivalent of Birkenstocks, but like a cooler brand. And she was like talking with this other girl, same like artsy vibe. And I'm just like, damn, like they're so fucking cool. Like I'll never fit in with those girls. Like shitting on myself in the fucking shower. And I was just being like, ugh, like fuck those people, even though I don't even know them.
But you
and then I thought to myself, a granola-y Silver Lake rock climbing girly would never have threatened me in high school. Mm-mm. It would be a rich blonde girl who looks like a plastic, because that was like the it thing in high school. Mm-hmm. When I went to St. Cecilia's, it would be like a middle school. It would be like a Grove girl who could like throw a punch and like played volleyball,
Yeah.
Like a really Irish girl who was really good at sports, because I never fit into that cool girl niche. But obviously like it changes wherever you are.
Right.
And I realized... And
that could even be the place. You're popping off at Gold's. Let's be real.
That's because I'm like the only woman at Gold's.
That's not true.
There's not a lot of women there.
It's run by the men, but they love you.
They're all steroided out. So I feel safe. Like, I know, I think about this. Sometimes, because we live in America, I'm like, if a man with a gun walked in
you would
here,
be protected.
People would jump in front of me.
Oh,
I struggle with my weights, but boom. Two men on either side fixing it, no problem. You're fine.
That's crazy.
I was at the rock climbing gym. People fucking walking behind me while I'm doing lunges waited. Like, you have to have manners in a weight room, bro.
That's true.
And rock climbers sometimes don't have it. I'm not trying to hate.
I mean, rock climbers, they're not like, they don't like hit the weights,
Yeah, but they're like so close to you while you're lifting. And it's just like, ugh.
I get you, bro. I fucking get you.
The lack of, I appreciate the etiquette at Gold's,
I thought in climbing in LA, like I hate the culture, but I just like doing it.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's
headphones just be in.
That's when I realized it was a me problem, not a them problem.
Well,
because
no, it is a them problem too. And if they are watching, It is a them problem.
All the people that I just described in my 3 tiers of life.
Yes. It is a them problem too, because they are part of the problem, because they have intentionally inserted themselves, okay, into a thing, right?
You know what I just realized?
What?
I think I was maybe part of the problem in college.
I don't think so.
Because I don't have a stereotype that I can name.
That's not true. There is like a good gajillion. But it's like you're inserting yourself into, what is deemed valuable in this group, okay? Whether it is fucking being a granola person, or whether it's being a blonde or whatever. You find out what's deemed valuable, and then you edge yourself in that niche, okay? And it's okay to feel safe and accepted, within yourself and your own group. But if you were intentionally trying to like push yourself in a direction, that seems disingenuous. Do you think they are? Or do you think they're just
like that?
I don't know. I didn't see these particular people, but
I know people. But all the Silver Lake people, I feel like.
Yeah, I think they're fucking bastards. What? It's true. All of them. All of you, okay? If you're watching, all of you. If you go to if you're thrifting on Sunday,
stay away from Aaron's plane.
Stay away from my plane.
I don't like that, bro. I don't like that. Huh? I don't like that joke.
Straight for the Rose Bowl.
That's not funny to joke about online.
No. I'm not talking about it in a violent way. We're gonna have social discourse. I'm going to land the plane safely in the parking lot.
Sometimes you fucking scare the shit out of me, Aaron.
I'm just walking there, guys. Totally kidding. It's not going to be violent.
Anyway, Aaron and I, we've been doing okay, There's been peaks, there's been pits.
What was your peak and pit of the week?
My peak of the week was filming the Fizz commercial. That was really fun. Oh, cool. And my pit of the week was the moment after I filmed the Fizz commercial, when I realized that I have nothing else to do after that. And then I cried. I woke up in the middle of the night last night, you guys. And yes, I was slightly seeking attention, but Aaron got me sick, and so I couldn't breathe. So I get up in the middle of the night. I already have anxiety, so when I can't breathe due to physical,
a panic attack.
Yeah. Well, no, not because of a panic attack, like sickness or something.
Oh, right.
When I do associate it with anxiety, because usually I can't breathe because of my anxiety. And so I came up to the living room and I was like, I'm just going to journal. I'm going to like try this out. So I tried journaling, kind of worked, rubbed vapor rub all over my nose, chest, and back.
Holy shit.
And then I took a shot of NyQuil because I was like, I just need to knock the fuck out.
Did you measure it with the cap thing, or did you just...
I just took it and then I went to bed. And then I said to Aaron, because I really just needed someone to hold me last night, you guys, okay? I've just been having like those existential crises about my career that you tend to have when you're just living, and everyone is telling you that the industry is slow and it's not going to pick up for another year, blah 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 blah, and so you start to panic. That was me last night after I had a wonderful day. And
true,
I went to bed. I just needed someone to hold me, and I thought Aaron would pick up the cues, and I said, Aaron, and he said, ugh, what time is it?
Okay, also, like...
I was like, it's 4 a.m.
I don't remember this. I was asleep.
And he was like, ugh, it's 4 a.m. And I turn around and I start sobbing, you guys. Like, I actually start sobbing. And Aaron is like, what's wrong?
I don't remember this. I was asleep.
And then we just didn't even touch for the rest of the night.
Touch? What is this thing with touching?
You didn't hold me at all.
I wanted to... okay, can I then describe how I got into bed? Because Sophia was tired. She had a long day. She went to bed at like 10. It's too early for me, so when I'm going to bed, it's midnight, and I try to give her a little hug, and she turns out, because Sophia does this thing where she sleep talks and kind of is awake.
I do sleep talk. It seems like I'm awake, but I'm not.
And
I have no recollection.
She does this. She's asleep. She goes, "You are me right now, and I am Sophia." Like I touch, and you look at me like this. And then you fucking turn away, like you get to the furthest edge of the other side of the bed. So I go, okay, I know where she's at right now. This is just what she needs.
I think we've been a little distant the past 2 days. Have you noticed that?
Why?
I think just because like I've been feeling a little sad and I don't think that you've really been hearing me out, but today you did.
I'm sorry, bud.
It's okay. I noticed when I was saying that you checked the time.
No, just because we only have 45 minutes on the card. I think we're talking good stuff here.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to cut you off while you were saying something earnest. I was not checking it because I want you to speed through this. I
don't know, bro. I think we've been doing fine. I do tend to panic, and as soon as I worry about my career, Aaron's right. Like, I started thinking about the things that I can change in my life, which is usually the only thing in my control is Aaron, so I try to kick him out of my life for like a day or two. And he's like, you're just being crazy. This isn't Sophia. This is evil Sophia talking. And I'm like, I know deep down that it's evil Sophia talking, but sometimes I let her take the wheel. And
sometimes you do, and that's where I get afraid.
But honestly, like, you haven't experienced it that bad in a while.
No.
When we were in college, like, evil Sophia pretty much drove most of the time.
It was like 50-50.
And I don't know why you stayed with me, honestly.
Yeah, so evil Sophia would take the wheel. No, you've gotten a lot better. It's not even close.
There were times when I was a child where I would like, my mom and I had a really tense relationship when I was younger. And I would scream. Like, I would say awful things to her. And I knew that evil Sophia was in full rage.
And you knew.
And I knew, and I couldn't stop.
Damn.
Like, I couldn't stop. I was so angry as a kid.
You just had to get it out.
I think from 11 to 18, I was...
That's a long... Okay.
No, I was horribly miserable. Like, really, really, really evil. And miserable. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Like, I think that my life... People always tell you... Okay. Your Greek fathers may tell you this, but it's not true. That when you get older, you realize that it was way better when you were younger, way better when you were a teenager. Like, things were taken care of you. Adults say that it gets way harder when you get older. Don't believe that.
Yeah, it always gets easier.
It gets way better when you grow up.
I remember in the first... Also, like, fuck you for a teacher to tell you this, but, like, teachers are like, you're in the first grade, you're a kid, like, you're just starting to, like, learn things and become a person. Like, oh, by the way, your life is about to get way harder. First grade is hard for you. Second grade is gonna be fucking hell. And you're like, what?
No, but people say that in high school too. They're like,
yeah, they're saying the whole time it's gonna be so hard.
College is gonna be way worse than high school.
First grade was like the hardest for me. Second grade, it was like, okay.
First grade was the hardest for you.
Leave me the fuck alone.
First grade was the hardest for me too. I had a bully.
And then you did?
Yeah, I had to get a restraining order.
Oh, that one, yeah. That's really bad. Restraining order is bad, bro.
We're fine now.
He beat you up, right? Sorry.
A little, but
that's tough.
He just like threatened me because I didn't love him. And honestly, I learned a lot about men through that experience.
That's honestly...
I think I learned a lot about men at a really young age.
Bro, that's fucking men to a T right there. Will you love me? No. I'm gonna fucking kill you now.
It taught me everything I needed to know. I think that's honestly... That's unfortunate that I had trauma like that, but... And then I remember... It stayed with me for a while, that bully. Like, it really stuck with me, and I couldn't look at him for a while.
That makes sense.
Which, okay. Just realizing something about myself. But I remember, like, in the 7th grade, I had not been in his class for all those years, because that was the agreement that we came upon.
Oh, yeah.
And... I didn't want to like go play on the other side of the basketball court because I didn't want to be near him. In the 7th grade, it had been years. Like, I should have gotten over it by then, but I still had like a physical like reaction to him.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go over there, and I was trying to explain it because my friends like told on me to this nun who was watching the yard.
Okay.
And she said to me, she was like, how dare you not want to go up to him? And I felt so guilty in that moment because I was like, oh my God, like, she's right. Like, she didn't know the context of the situation. She thought I was just like not wanting to go near this kid.
Yeah.
And I felt so terribly guilty. Like, how could I hold on to that for so long? Like, how could I? And I blamed myself for that for a really long time. But honestly, like, now he's a nice guy, and I think like he was just struggling a lot because his parents were divorced, and that was really hard.
Yeah.
And you forgive, like, when it's someone in the first grade, like, he was a child too. That's on his parents, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
That's like, on his parents.
Yeah.
But I do remember, like, yeah, that was a really hard time, and I do think it actually affected my relationship with men, like,
probably, bro,
into my adolescence.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, going back to what I said about sometimes feeling like I don't have enough experience, or like sometimes feeling like we're really too young to like settle down. I do think that I experienced a lot of things when I was younger and like when I was a teenager, like a lot of like semi-sexual things, I guess. Yeah. Which I've talked about on this podcast before. But I do think that a lot of women experience that in their 20s.
For sure.
And I also, like, you know, I had a very, like, big love early on in my life. Yeah. And I think that because I experienced those things so early on, and I, like, processed all of that, like, I remember, like, doing the work, like, writing about all of it, and, like, really, like, sitting with what all of that meant, and whether it was trauma or whether it was learning about my sexuality or not. And now, like, I just don't fucking have time for the bullshit. Yeah, for sure. Like, but I understand why people do.
Well, if you haven't come to that point yet.
But then, I think I came to that point when I was like 18. Yeah. And I think that that's super rare.
For sure. For sure.
And
that's like a 20s thing, figuring
that's
that
like
out.
a late 20s thing, honestly, when you finally figured it out. But I think because I figured it out at like, you know, 18, which is crazy, that I had like all of those experiences. I had like a major love. I had so much heartbreak. And then we started dating when I was 19. And I felt like, honestly, like pretty fully formed in my sexuality.
Well, you feel, you know what you want, and you know it's worth your time. And yeah, that takes experience. It's not like, you know, people say like, oh, you know, you can't be 12 and be in love, or you can't be like, you know,
I think you totally can.
I think that those feelings are very real. For adult to tell you those things, and like it stems back to saying your life is going to get harder. For someone to kind of say, "Oh, your feelings aren't real because you're young." I mean, they're totally real. You just don't know how to apply those feelings in a healthy way. But they're real
that's
feelings.
Why it's more frustrating, more painful.
Yeah, exactly.
I do think life gets way easier.
Oh, it gets way easier. Like, you have more control.
Yes.
I don't fucking know, guys.
I think aging is a beautiful thing, going back to the Botox.
Yeah. Don't.
I'll still be looking 30 when I'm 50, though.
Never
you
landing
keep
it
an
forever.
eye out for that, guys.
Yeah, guys. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
All right, the fucking card is about to fill up, but any final thoughts?
How about you? I feel like I've been talking a lot.
Nothing really. Yeah, that was a good way to end it. You know, just keep on living.
Yeah, keep doing you. We also did hear your feedback about the outdoors.
We're gonna go for 2 times a week, once outdoor, 1 indoor. So
yeah,
we're
gonna try to shorten the podcast too. So I'll try to talk less. But
all right,
missed you guys.
Miss you guys. Fee.
FIFA for fun, bitches.